on the face of it, this 1997 to 2005 B5 generation of Volkswagen Passat, it's not an incredibly exciting car. Certainly, it's not that exciting to look at, both inside and out, and it's not particularly exciting to drive either. But for what it actually was designed for, I will argue that it is actually a very capable car. So this car has done 575,498 miles as we speak, and there's almost no evidence for it. I mean, if it wasn't for all the MOT history that kind of backs up this mileage, I would think that something's gone wrong there. Somebody's like reverse clocked it or something, because it's literally almost impossible to believe that it's done that amount of miles. It's in incredible condition. Even the buttons here, none of them have worn down. The seat bolster is absolutely fine. I mean, we don't know the history. We don't know whether the previous owner, replaced some of these things, or whether it's just literally held up that well and he's taken such good care of it. The interior of this car, it makes me feel like a late 90s, early noughties businessman. That's because, of course, this sort of car was extremely popular with those people. But also, inside here, it feels as interesting and exciting as the simple black briefcase that would have contained all the reports that I needed to show the CEO on Monday when I get back to work. It's not an exciting interior. It's very, very sensible, but it feels high quality, and it looks fine. It's just not in any way exciting or interesting. It's a proper car, this. It's got fully adjustable seats. You can put the lumbar support out, so I've got a comfortable lower back. Oh yeah, it's got a good indicator stalk on it. Feels nice. It's got a place to put your smartphone, a really big flat area here underneath the centre console, which is very forward thinking of Volkswagen, given that smartphones didn't exist back then and weren't going to for another 10 years. It's also got a cup holder, which, that's pretty cool. It slides out of the dashboard and it's got two in there. Very sort of ingenious. The days of interesting, ingenious cup holders are gone. Now it's all just built in, isn't it? Now, with it being the diesel, it's at low speeds, and when you're idling, sitting there, you can feel the vibrations of the diesel engine coming through. It does obviously have that tractory kind of sound, but once you're on the move in this car, and that's of course what it's all about, once you're on a dual carriageway or motorway, or even just driving 30 miles an hour in a town, it starts to become much more refined, and it's definitely a capable cruiser. I mean, I'm sat here now with my arm on the armrest, and this armrest is surprisingly good. Most of these things in the middle, normally they're not that good, but it fits my elbow perfectly, and it's comfortable with a little bit of padding and carpet on the top of it. You absolutely could just cruise along in this car and soak up the miles in it, which is what this kind of car is for. I've never really paid too much attention to how this generation of Passat looks, and I think it's because it's a very, very plain and simple design. But actually up close, when I saw this car for the first time, especially in this colour, it's not a bad looking car. It's not an amazing looking car, but it's certainly quite an elegant shape, and it was deliberately designed to cut through the air in a very aerodynamic manner. And the drag coefficient is 0.27 CD, which is actually really good. It's better than the new shape Maserati Quattroporte. So with body styles with the Passat, you had this saloon car, and you had the estate car as well, which was massive estate car, very practical vehicle. They technically made a long wheelbase version of this car as well, but it ended up in this country being the first generation Skoda Superb. In China they sold it as the Passat with a long wheelbase. Something that the Passat was not praised for at the time was its handling, and yeah, you kind of can soar at the wheel to get around the corners and things. It's certainly not like a super tight and accurate steering feel, or it's quite a relaxed kind of drive in every way, which is funny because there was an advert around that I found recently that showed the Passat nipping in and out of things on a sort of track with a guy with a helmet on, and he was avoiding footballs and hedgehogs and things coming out on the road. And of course, like every single advert from the late 90s, he was also slamming on the brakes to show off its standard ABS thing. There were millions of engines available for this car. As always with VW, the choice was endless. For the petrol engines, it ranged from a 1.6 right up to the ridiculous 4-litre W8 engine, and every sort of possible combination in between, including VR5, VR6. The performance levels were diverse. And then the diesels, they were generally 1.9 TDI PD engines that you know, this incredibly capable engine that could do huge mileage. This particular car, it's the 1.9 TDI with 110 brake horsepower, and it's quite a heavy car, so it doesn't feel quite as quick as, say, the Volkswagen Golf with the same engine, but it's still very economical, and it's got enough performance. I think this car does 0 to 60 in about 11 seconds. That 4-litre W8 they put in this car, they actually used this car as a test bed for that engine, because they ended up putting it in the Bugatti Veyron as a W16, which was basically like the fastest and most impressive car ever built. And this car, this Passat, was the test bed for that car, so it's a pretty cool little bit of history, that. And to handle all that power from the W8 and the V6s and so on, this car was available with all-wheel drive 4Motion, as it's called, but most of them were front-wheel drive. With this being a diesel model, you can do 700 miles on a tank in this car, which is what you want from a car like this. You fill it up, and then you just set off, and then you don't have to worry about fuel. You know, which is more than can be said for a lot of small cars or electric cars. The MPG is officially around 50 miles per gallon, and you can easily get 55 on a long run. It's now time to ask backseat JJ what he thinks of the back of the VW Passat. What's it like in the back, mate? Oh man, it's brilliant back here. Honestly, there's just so much glass. I feel like I can just see all the way around. Like, the visibility is so good, and I feel like I'm miles away from you. I've got like loads of knee room, loads of headroom, proper comfortable sort of limousine type car, this. Yes, it is astonishing. I agree with you. Can I have some of that coffee? Yeah, go on then, mate. It's decaf though, so you won't like it. Oh, cheers, man. Oh, Costa. Ugh. Yeah, you can keep that, mate. A specialty brew hand brew next time, please. It's ungrateful, isn't it? It's ungrateful. Yeah, the back seat here, you could easily fit four adults in comfort. There is a bit of a transmission tunnel going on here, so the middle passenger wouldn't be able to sit very comfortably, but I've got this pretty sweet armrest here, and these split fold 60/40 as well, so you can fit longer items through into the massive boot. All around, very spacious and practical car. Do you own one of these cars, or have you owned one? I'd love to know your thoughts on the Passat and what kind of experiences you had with it and how many miles you did and so on. And if you've been enjoying this video, do please hit the thumbs up button. So are these cars reliable? Now, I don't know the full history of this car, but there's no chance in hell it would have got to 575,000 miles if it wasn't a relatively reliable, well-built car, because you'd very quickly get tired of fixing it, wouldn't you? So you would chuck it in the bin. One of the sort of big things that you need to look out for with the Passat is water leaks. Apparently the water can leak in from all sorts of different areas. It's not without its common faults, but it is, generally speaking, a very reliable car. The video I did recently with Miles, the high mileage hero Skoda, and he'd done 460,000 miles. Well, this car's done another 100k on top of that. That other car was famous for its mileage, so I would love to know. I mean, if the previous owner happens to watch this, then you absolutely do need to get in touch and tell me what you were doing with this car and how you looked after it, because it's stunning, and fair play to you for doing it. That's the Passat B5. It's been a pleasant surprise, to be honest. I've really quite enjoyed driving it. It's a really relaxing, comfortable car, and it really did fit all of the design briefs that they set out to achieve with it. Yeah, it's not a dynamically brilliant car, and it's not super exciting to look at or to look at inside, but it just it does all of the things they wanted it to do really well. You could easily just like do some huge like road trip in this car, you know, drive across Europe, drive across the US, and it would be just no problem at all for it. So one worth looking into if you want a sort of reliable but getting on towards a classic car now, especially this early late 90s one. I just want to say a big thanks to James for lending me this car. This is the second car I borrowed from him, and the two cars add up to over 1 million miles between them, so he's obviously a glutton for punishment. Also, of course, a big thank you to you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.